Hi, I'm Kristen. I'm a spirit, soul, body, wholeness, and fullness health coach, life coach, author, and speaker. But most importantly, I'm head over heels in love with Jesus. And I'm passionate about helping others connect to the Zoe life that's available for them. John 10:10. He came to bring life and life to the full. And so this would mean them living a healthier, more fulfilling, purposeful life. So if you're interested in growing in intimacy with God or about spirit, soul, body, wholeness, and fullness, or simply to make how to make choose life choices, just simple tweaks to your everyday story in order to position yourself to receive more of God's blessings, I'd love for you to subscribe to this channel and follow along because that's what I talk about and share. So in this video, I'm sharing about a choose life choice for your spirit. And I'm going to share out of 1 Corinthians chapter 10, verses um, 4 and 5 specifically. But I'll start at verse 1, but I'm going to focus on 4 and 5. Remember our history, friends, and be warned. All our ancestors were led by the providential cloud and taken miraculous through the sea. They went through the waters in a baptism like ours, as Moses led them from enslaving death to salvation life. They all ate and drank identical food and drink, meals provided daily by God. They drank from the rock, God's fountain for them that stayed with them wherever they were. And the rock was Christ. And just experiencing God's wonder and grace didn't seem to mean much. Most of them were defeated by temptation during the hard times in the desert, and God was not pleased. And so I just want to share that with you that yes, in this day, in this hour, there is going to be a lot of beautiful miracles, beautiful signs and wonders, healings, things happening. And God is going to encourage you, and that all of those things that are happening around you can be something that strengthens yourself and Him. However, the the Israelites, His people, although water was coming from a rock, and He had parted the Red Sea, they walked across on dry ground. They crossed over. They saw the promised land. There were so many things that they were seeing and feeling and tasting and touching, but still, they did not overcome temptation. They did not live as an overcomer. Instead, their hearts were hard, and because they did not overcome temptation, they were defeated. They lived a defeated lifestyle. And so, obviously, we're called to live as overcomers. We have the same spirit that raised Jesus from the dead living inside us. We have every single thing we need for life and godliness. And I would say, with everything that's going around beautifully by His kindness and provision and His goodness, that external didn't connect because they did not stay connected to what was happening inside them, to the spirit of the living God inside them. So I just can't say this enough. This is how to live the overcomer life. Your spirit, which is one with God's spirit in your core, He lives inside you. If you've said yes to Jesus, His spirit has come to make residence, come to make home in you. And so this is your core. This is the center of your being. And that can overflow, and that can expand, and that can increase based on your decisions by using God's word as a filter to navigate through your life. And then the first thing, it has to penetrate your soul. His thoughts replace your thoughts. His feelings must replace your feelings. His desires must replace your will, your mind, will, emotions. That is your soul. And then His spirit, once it saturates your soul, it must connect to this other ring of your body. You must make this decision that your body belongs to Jesus, giving Him full access to every part of you. This is how to live the overcomer life. His people, despite the signs and wonders they experienced in the desert, their hearts were hard, and they did not overcome the temptation. They were defeated in the hard times, and they did not live connected to the God Spirit. And yes, they had the cloud. It said they had the cloud over them. So they had His presence. Now His presence resides in you if you say yes to Him. And so live connected to His presence inside you. And the best way to do that is it's again that Deuteronomy 30:19. Because today, heaven and earth is witnesses. He sets before you life and death, blessings and curses, but choose life. And when we make that choose life choice, we know we're not making just a good decision and just a feel good decision, because we know in Proverbs 14:12, Proverbs 30, 12, Proverbs 16, 25. There is a way that seems right to man, but in the end it leads to death. That's like living off of the tree, the modern day tree of the knowledge of good and evil, us deciding what's right, what's wrong, what's good, what's bad. No. Instead, we eat off and live off the modern day tree of life, and that is a person. His name is Jesus. John 14:6, he says, I am the way, I am the truth, I am the life. And so it's pulling on him. This is how you overcome. And because God's Spirit, Jesus, you've said yes to him to live inside you, you stay connected. You stay in conversation. You stay in communion. You stay in co-union with him. Communion's not just the symbolism of his blood and body. It also is that. But communion, co-union is this ever-present conversation, connection, ongoing all the time. He's saying, do this communion and remembrance of me. He's saying, always set me before you, always have communion, always connect with me. And so I want you to live as an overcomer. I want you to stay in order to do that, you must stay connected to him inside you, God's Spirit inside you. Do not be like God's people that once upon a time, they were defeated in the temptation, in the hard times, what they're up against, the temptations, all the decisions before you. They were defeated and they lived defeated. They were defeated because they did not stay connected to his presence. It was there, it was all around them, signs and wonders, the cloud, everything. And everything already available to life and godliness for them, and the same is for you. And so you have a choice before you, and I'm championing you and encouraging you to make the choose life choice. Stay connected. So I love you, and I look forward to our next video together.